What's going on, guys? John Elder here from codemy.com, and in this video, we're going to determine the correct user to edit our events for our app with Django and Python. All right, guys, like I said, in this video, we're going to look at determining who the correct user is to edit events. So if we look at our events, we can see each event has a manager. There's Tim, admin is another one, admin, and so on. But for each of these, we have updates. So I'm logged in right now as admin. You see the manager here is Tim. We go to this, we want this to be able to say, hey, wait a second, only Tim can update that event. You're not Tim, you can't update that event. So that's what we're gonna look at in this video. So let's head over to our code. I'm using the Sublime Text Editor and the Git Bash terminal as always. And as always, you can find a link to the code in the pinned comment section below, as well as a link to the playlist with all the other Django videos in this series. So check that out if you haven't seen it so far. So let's head over to our events directory and our templates and our events subdirectory, and let's find the page to edit our events. So if we come down here, we look at update event. And if we come back to the website and come and look at all of our events, we can see we've got manager Bob, manager admin. And right now I'm logged in as admin. So if we click on Bob's event here, I can update it, and we don't want that. We want to change this. So this is that update page. So let's take a look at it. Now let's come over here. And the first thing we need to do is figure out who's logged in and who the manager is. So how do we do that programmatically? Well, let's just kind of play around here. Head back over here. And right up here, we've already checked to see if the user is authenticated or not. But underneath here, let me just type in logged in user and put a line break and then event manager. So let's just sort of print these things onto the screen so that we can see who's who, right? So who's the logged in user? Well, we can get that by calling user. And that's because this is our user authentication stuff. It's already sort of valid for every page. So if we go ahead and save this, head back over here, and let's hit reload, we can see the logged in user right now is admin. So, okay, so far so good. And let's put another line break here just for good measure. Now, what about the event manager? Who is that? Well, if we look at our views.py file and look at our update event function, we could see we've created this event variable and we're looking up this specific event in the database. We're querying the database and then we're passing that into the page with this thing right here, right? So we can access event.whatever on the page. So if we come over here, we could call event.manager. Why event.manager? Well, if we look at our models.py file in our event model, we see the event model has this manager field, so we can reference that. So event.manager. So let's go ahead and save this, head back over here, hit reload. But before we do that, if you like this video, want to see more like it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out codemy.com where I have dozens of courses with hundreds of videos that teach you to code. Use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off memberships, all my courses, videos, and books. One-time fee at just $49, which is insanely cheap. Whoa, weird commercial. So, okay, we can see now that our logged in user is admin, the event manager is Bob. So now this is just a basic if statement. If logged in user equals event manager, let them proceed. Otherwise, throw up a little error message saying, hey, you can't do that because you're not the right person. So, okay, that's easy. Let's just come right up here. And let's say if user is authenticated, right underneath that, let's create another if statement, sort of nest this in here. So let's go if user equals event.manager. And that's just, user from right here and event manager from right here. So if these guys equal, then we want to allow all of this stuff to happen. Well, we don't actually need this, but we'll leave it in there for now. But we want this form to pop up and, all this stuff, right? So underneath the form, but above this other else statement from the last video we worked on for authentication, let's put in another else. And then here, we just want to put whatever we want. So we could put, I don't know, access denied, whatever. Little message, only the events manager can update this event. Whatever. You might want to say, please log in or whatever. And then right here, let's just grab this stuff and put it down here just to sort of reinforce this, right? And then underneath this, we need to end our if like that. Okay, so that should work. Let's head back over here and take a look. Okay, access denied. Only the events manager can update this event. Logged in user is admin. Event manager is Bob. All right, that makes sense. So now if we go back to our events page, here's one that I do own. I'm the manager for this one, admin. So let's try and update it. It works perfectly fine, and that's pretty cool. So, okay, that's cool. Come back here, boom. And maybe you want to make this look nicer, use a little flash message or something, whatever. You could play around with that. You probably don't want this stuff on the screen. I'm just going to leave it in there for now so that it's in the code so you can see how to do it. But yeah, pretty good. So now let's head back over here to our all events page. And we've got the same sort of problem here. We've got these buttons, and we might not necessarily want those buttons to appear on an event that you don't already own. So let's play around with that. Let's head back over here and let's look at the event list page. And we could just come down here and find those buttons. And we've done the same user authentication stuff. So inside of here, we'll just do the same thing. So we can come back over here, come back up here, and do this. And then pop all this stuff in here. And again, we need an end if. So I'll just do that. And if we want to be fancy, we could do it like this. All right, so that should work. So let's head back over here, hit reload, and boom, you can see the buttons disappear for all the things that you're not a manager of. So here I am the admin for this one, so the buttons appear, and we can click on them, right? This one right here is Bob. I'm not the manager for that, so I can't click on it. Now let's come down here and update one of these guys, and let's change this from Tina. If we update this, come back here, now suddenly there's Tina, her buttons are gone. I can no longer update this because I've changed managers from me to Tina, and now that no longer works. So a very cool, very easy way to further authenticate our app, lock down our app, determine who owns what, and only allow people who own things, who are the manager of things in this case, to be able to edit them. Super easy. There's other ways you could do that using decorators. Maybe we'll talk about that in a future video. Sometimes easier, sometimes harder. We'll get into all that later, but this is pretty easy, and it's a little bit sloppy because, we're doing all this stuff on the page, and you want to keep your code off HTML pages as much as possible, just as a best practices sort of thing. But this isn't a lot of code, just very basic logic in here. Very simple, very straightforward, and gets the job done. So that's all for this video. If you liked it, be sure to smash the like button below, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, and check out codemy.com where you can use coupon code YouTube1 to get $30 off membership. So you pay just $49 to access all my courses, over 47 courses, hundreds of videos, and the PDFs of all my best-selling coding books. Join over 150,000 students learning to code just like you. My name is John Elder from codemy.com, and I'll see you in the next video.